We all know Microsoft has been busy meeting developers and buying the ones that were interested. This past E3, they bought Ninja Theory and Playground Games, among others, and recently there was a rumor going around that they were very close to buying Obsidian, but I keep on hearing rumors and getting DMs from people every single day about Microsoft buying Bethesda. That's right, the Bethesda that makes Fallout and Elder Scrolls. And I thought to myself, this can't be true. I need to check down the source. Where does this rumor originate from? So that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to track down where this Microsoft buys Bethesda rumor came from. What is going on, guys? Randall Thor 19, the man with the million, back again with another video. And man, rumors and speculation, I love making videos about them. I love kind of just spitballing and talking about these type of things. But this one, it's a little bit different because I wanted to track down the source, because for the past few days, my DMs on Twitter, my messages on Xbox have been filled with, hey, love your YouTube content. You know, I've recently hit 20,000 subs on YouTube, still have the giveaway going on for Year of Xbox Live Gold, 6 months Game Pass, 50 random games. Link will be in the description of the giveaway if you want to enter. But I keep on hearing the same thing. Rand, is Microsoft buying Bethesda? Rand, is Microsoft buying Bethesda? That'd be a megaton. And I thought to myself, well, number one, this is absolutely ridiculous. Bethesda is an absolutely huge publisher that would, require a ton of money. It was very similar to their rumors, last year or early this year about Microsoft buying EA, PUBG, and Valve. Remember that stuff? We all laughed at it. It didn't come true, although Microsoft was actually trying to buy different developers, just not the size of a publisher like EA. So I went to track this down. And I noticed in one of my favorite threads at Reset Era, the Microsoft Studios thread, shout out to everybody there, great thread, love browsing it every day. Sorry to see that Clobro left. Hope you find what you're looking for with the break, dude. Follow you on Twitter. You always post some interesting things. And everybody was talking about this Bethesda thing like it was some sort of actual rumor that potentially might be happening. So I was like, all right, let's find out where this is coming from, because, man, I haven't seen any IGN or Kotaku or anybody with at least some reputation behind them talking about a Bethesda buyout, because that would be insane in my opinion, right? Microsoft buying Bethesda, that would be absolutely insane to me. So I stumbled across the actual source, and I had a good laugh, because who does it come from? It comes from our good buddy Michael Pachter, who does a show called The Pachter Factor on YouTube. Now, I love Michael Pachter. He's a great dude. I met him at E3 a couple years ago, had actually a long conversation with him. He's very intelligent, but there's always that kind of thing with him where it's like, what he says, the opposite happens, and he's wrong more than he's right, even though he has a really cushy job, so he must be doing something correctly. So on his show, The Pachter Factor, he reads user-sent questions and then answers them to the best of his knowledge. And one of the questions is exactly what brought up the scenario of Microsoft buying Bethesda, and I'll have this episode linked in the description so you can watch it for yourself. The question is, hi Pac, do you think Amazon or any other large corporation would ever disrupt the video game industry with a big acquisition on the same scale as Whole Foods? So he starts off his answer saying that yes, that's something that could possibly happen, and he thinks that Bethesda is a certainty to being bought out, and he names 3 companies as potential buyouts for Bethesda. He mentions Activision, Amazon, and Microsoft, and that in reality Microsoft or Amazon would be the 2 that would probably buy them. So I could already tell when he says that it's a certainty that Bethesda wants to be bought out eventually at some point, that this is what kind of triggered people to post that, oh my god, could they buy Bethesda? Is it a reality? This is exactly where it stems from. But this conversation is just a hypothetical. In a scenario where Bethesda wants to be sold, and he estimates that it would be about $10 billion, and that Amazon's looking into the games industry. They would buy them. They would continue to make games, publish the Bethesda games on PlayStation and Xbox, and then take them off console, essentially do streaming and things like that. Well, he said Microsoft would want to protect its business interests, potentially buy them because Bethesda owns all their IPs. You can have, Xbox Game Pass exclusives. You have the Xbox Project xCloud streaming thing, which those games would be huge for. But it'd be hard for Microsoft because essentially you would have to stop putting them on PlayStation. So their revenue that you would get from, cutting out PlayStation would be severe. You'd lose out on a lot of money, but it would be for the greater good of promoting game streaming and Game Pass and all those different scenarios. And that's all it really was. Just a dude sitting down in his chair, having a hypothetical situation, or going over a hypothetical situation that a user asked him. And it's funny how these things all start, right? Pachter says something, people take it as gospel, and then people talk about it in threads and on Twitter. And then it gets to me because people want to know, because I'm the Xbox guy, and they want to know if this is realistic because, to be fair, this would be a true megaton. This would disrupt the video game industry, or at least on the scale of Whole Foods, right? Which was $14 billion acquisition for Amazon, and he said Bethesda's $10 billion, so it's right there. Any publisher buying Bethesda and getting access exclusively to Fallout and Elder Scrolls and Doom and Dishonored and Prey and all the other games that they make, that would be absolutely huge. The internet would crash that day. Could you imagine if Microsoft truly ended up buying Bethesda in a couple years to prevent Amazon from getting them, or prevent Google from getting them? Because Google's trying to get in here too. You got Project Stream. The thing is, they don't really have their own first-party studio. We know Google's got more money than God. So what if Google came in there and is like, you know what, we'll buy Bethesda and we'll have them make games for us? That would be a very interesting first-party solution for Google or Amazon if that day ever were to come, right? God, it would shake the internet. People would be so upset. And in this scenario, hypothetical situation of what company I would want to see Bethesda be bought by, and I'm sure a lot of you would be like, well, Rand's an Xbox fanboy, he wants them to buy Bethesda, but that's not the case. I'm also very interested in the health of the industry, and Microsoft buying Bethesda and then taking their games away from PS4 users and Switch users isn't really the best. Plus, Microsoft's already a publisher, so there's kind of redundancy in jobs with picking up a publisher as large as Bethesda, so there'd be a lot of jobs lost there, a lot of turnover. And I can't imagine every single studio that Bethesda owns would make the cut. They have 2 id studios, they have a bunch of Bethesda studios, 2 Arcane studios. There's a ton of game developmental studios at Bethesda that I would imagine if someone like Microsoft bought, they would get rid of. They'd call the herd, so to speak. In reality, it'd probably be someone like Amazon. Amazon would take over. They would need a video game publisher because they don't really have one. So all the jobs would remain intact. They'd keep all the studios, and everybody would still be able to enjoy all the great games that Bethesda produces. They'd still be put on Xbox. They still would be put on PlayStation. They'd come to PC. And like Pachter said in the video, they bring them off console into streaming and all these different other type of scenarios. So in this hypothetical situation, Amazon probably is the best choice. Although, as Pachter notes that, hey, Microsoft does have a very, very good relationship with everybody at Bethesda, like Todd Howard and stuff, and that all really Bethesda needs is just a great place to make games, almost implying that Bethesda themselves isn't really a great place to play games. I don't really know. You guys can check out the episode at your own leisure in the description below. But yeah, so that's where the rumor came from. Now everybody can stop DMing me on Twitter saying that this is a reality and it's going to happen. Always try to get to the source of a rumor or some speculation like this. And the source is Michael Pachter. And he's not even saying it's happening. He's saying that in this hypothetical situation that these things could happen. He nowhere said that Microsoft is buying Bethesda, so I know everybody wants to find all the great info and rumors about what Xbox is potentially doing with studios and XO and things like that, but sometimes you just gotta step back and realize, all right, this is just for fun. This is just Pachter answering a question from a fan with his industry knowledge, saying that if this ever were to happen, he could see these people being the reasons or whatever for buying it. So let me just squash that, right? That's why I wanted to make this video, to basically tell people, no, it ain't happening, and it probably will never happen. But if it sure does happen, I'll be out there to make a video saying I was wrong about it. But either way, Microsoft ain't buying Bethesda. Stop messaging me about it, all right? Anyways, guys, that is the video for now. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a like, share this out on Twitter and social media. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Hit the notification bell if you always want to be notified when I drop new content. Thank you guys so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Later, guys.